We are live. How's everybody doing? Let me know if y'all can hear my voice. Hit that thumbs up button for your girl. We are going to go ahead and do this story. I know I had it scheduled for tomorrow, but I was like, let me just go ahead and do the story because so many other things are coming out and I don't want to fall too far behind. Baby, taking days off is like, woo, child, missing a whole lot. Anyway, hey y'all, I missed y'all. Oh my God, I missed y'all. Listen, it feel like it's been years. She said, yes, I can hear you. Hey y'all, hey y'all. She said, are you feeling better? Yes, I feel much better. I ain't 100%, but baby, I'm like 98. Okay. No, I feel better. I got up, I cooked. You know, uh, was up all day pretty much. I was up all day. So I did not sleep all day like I normally do. Okay. She said, I hope you're feeling better. Yes, I am feeling better. She said, you sound a lot better. Yes, thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. Listen, these colds is out here, honey. I'm not the only one catching colds. A lot of people are catching it. But baby, when I tell you, I was like, oh my God, I miss my family. I miss my loud talkers, baby. You hear me? But it did give me an opportunity to listen to my girl Break Room and some of her lives. So I caught up on a couple of Break Room lives, and y'all, I know Break Room had y'all entertained because baby, Break Room is funny. Do you hear me? She is funny. But listen, we are here today. I was supposed to go live a couple of days ago about this story. It is not a new story. It has been out here already. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard of the story already, but we're going to get into it tonight, okay? So, if you are not in here, let me just say this to the people that may miss the live because they're going to, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, more, I didn't get the notification. I don't know what's going on with that. Like I said last night on my live stream, I will try to get I'm going to get one of the moderators. My moderators have been missing in action because they got a lot going on. I think the only one that don't really have nothing going on right now is Candy. So I don't even know if Candy is in here, but I don't think I may need a moderator tonight because I don't think anybody gonna act a fool over this story. And I think that if they do, I will be able to catch it. But if you guys see anything going on in the comments, let me know or whatever, just in case I need to jump in and say something or do something. Okay. But I think I may be good. But just know that my moderators, I got one out for surgery, one out doing a lot of things. Another one out doing a lot of things. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Candy came back today, but she might be booed up because she just came back from a wedding. All right. So y'all might not see my moderators tonight. She said, I've been missing a lot. The cold will not go away. Oh my goodness, Lorraine, let me tell you something. As far as my cold, hubby went out and bought like this humidifier and put like this Vicks vapor stuff in it. You could just buy from like CVS or Walgreens or something like that. And he poured that liquid in there. And so I've been in that room laying in the bed with that vaporizer. But I also been taking Mucinex, drinking on hot teas, pushing fluids and things of that nature. But I think what really helped me was rest. I literally just shut down and went to sleep. I was sleeping like hours and hours and hours and hours. So I think it has something to do with just healing your body from just rest. So I don't know if I didn't try all this miracle stuff, just really the typical stuff that, Mucinex, NyQuil. I mean, I tried NyQuil one night, but it was nasty. But I also did Theraflu a couple of times as well. Okay. So let's get into this story. Let's talk about it. We are talking tonight about the story that has been out now for, oh my goodness, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. And a lot of content creators have shared their thoughts on this story, and I want to do the same with you guys. Okay. So tonight we're going to be talking about his name is David Burks, David Anthony Burks. Let me put his photo up for you guys. All right. So who is David? Because I did not know who this guy was before all of this started. Do any of you guys know him or have followed him? I was talking to the internet sister the other day, and she was like, oh my God, my daughter actually listens to his songs. I didn't know who this guy was, okay? But the guy name is David Anthony Burke. His stage name is D4vd. It stands for David, but it's D4vd. That is his stage name, and it's pronounced David, okay? Now, he's actually here from Texas. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say Houston, maybe. But in 2022, he literally became famous like overnight. Okay. He was a little kid. Well, he's only 20 years old now. But when I say little kid, I mean, y'all know I call people that's in their 20s little kids or even younger than that. But he was just a kid that became famous through TikTok and streaming. Okay. And he was making like his own little beats and own tunes and stuff like that to his gaming. And he became famous like overnight. He became like an overnight success. Okay. So he's on tour and whatnot. Like he's a big thing now, but he literally just became a big thing back in 2022 when he started out. Okay. So that's who David is. He's actually a singer. Okay. And Celeste is 15 years old. Well, she's 15 years old as of her birthday, but she was reported missing when she was only 13 years old. Okay. She's been missing since April the 5th of 2024. All right. On September the 17th in LA, he left Texas and went to LA. David did. A body was identified in the front of his vehicle. Now he drives a Tesla, and a Tesla, their trunk is called a frunk, Frunk. I didn't even know that, but yes, their Tesla trunk is called a frunk. A body was identified on September the 17th in an abandoned car lot. Okay. Actually, yeah, in an abandoned car lot. But before that, what happened was in this very famous neighborhood, a foul smell was coming from this Hollywood tow yard, right? Well, a smell was found in a neighborhood, and then they called the tow company, and the tow company came and took the car out of the expensive neighborhood and took it to this Hollywood tow yard. Okay. And the workers smelt this awful smell. And they're like, what the hell is this? What's going on or whatever? So, of course, when they call the people out and they start going through the vehicle, that's when they notified that a body, some human remains, was found wrapped up in a plastic or whatever, found in the front of his vehicle. Okay, I'm going to say trunk just because, that's what it is. Okay. Anyway, search warrants were issued, and the LAPD came out and they did all their searches and found that there was a body. They did not know at the time pretty much anything. Why? Because the body was so decomposed. They couldn't identify much of anything. It was decomposed and it was dismembered. And they're like, who is this? What is this? Like, what do we have our hands on? Okay. So anyway, moving forward, they had to do a little digging. Now, let me go back for a second and let's talk about Celeste before we get too far into what we found. Okay. Because I said that she was missing at 13. Now, Celeste was a runaway. Okay. She had went missing before and her parents contacted the authorities, but then she reappeared, right? But when she reappeared, they was like, oh, she just ran away, but she's back. Okay. And the reason why I'm saying that, because it's very important to know that she didn't just pop up missing and everybody's wondering, why is this not national news? Well, because she went missing before, she came back, right? And they had to tell the authorities that she ran away. Okay. So the second time, back in April of 2024, when they reported her missing, the cops just automatically assumed, oh, okay, she's going to pop back up, because what happened the first time? She came back. Okay. So they labeled it in their mind as a runaway, but on paper, they had her as missing. Let's put that up right quick. I thought I had that, but let's grab it right quick. Hold on. Let's grab the flyer that they put out that she was missing. Here it goes right here. Let's put eyes on that. Now, when she was missing, hold on, let me get it up for you guys. Now, I got this from TMZ. TMZ, I follow their news because they're pretty accurate. There's a lot of stories going around, rumors, should I say, about this case that I am not paying no attention to because they're just rumors at this point. All right. So she was missing, current age 13, last seen April the 4th, 2024. Okay. She was last seen in Lake Elsinore, California. At the time she was missing in 2024, she weighed 120 pounds. That's important. I want you guys to remember that. Okay. Last seen wearing a gray pants and a black sweater, a hat, and a Hello Kitty sandals. Riverside Sheriff Department reported this. Okay. This was reported by TMZ. Okay. So why wasn't it national? Because even though they posted this missing person, they automatically assumed that she was a runaway. And then let's just be honest. She is a Hispanic female, and Hispanic and brown people, period, they don't get the nationwide public news when we're missing. Why? Well, because it's just y'all already know, and I don't want to even get into that and too deep into that. But we don't get the national publications of being missing unless we put it out ourselves. Like we go online and we go hard in the paint. We start marching. We reach out to advocacy groups and things of that nature, go to news outlets and stuff like that. Like we got to kick, scream, and holler for our missing children to get the national publication. If not, then it will go like hers did. Okay. No one knew that she was missing. It's probably except for just her friends, family, schools, and those things. Okay. Now let's put up another picture of Celeste right quick. This is another photos of Celeste. Now I know you guys looking at her and like, oh my gosh, she looks so young. Yes, she does. Right. 13 at the time of being missing, 15 at the time of her death. And 15, she just made 15 September the 7th. Okay. Literally just days ago. What? 2 weeks ago, maybe? She just made 15. All right. So again, and then they found her, what, the day after? Was it the 8th of September? So the day after her death is when they found her, September the 8th. She made 15 on September the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. And they found her a day later. Okay. So anyway, let's get back to this guy, because what is their connection? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. All right. So the police discovered the remains of this young lady after doing a lot of searching and whatnot and having to go and try to figure things out. They found out that it was this young lady, now 15 years old, but at the time of missing, she was 13 years old. Okay. Now, what is her and David's connection? You're probably asking. Well, let's talk about what a former teacher of hers said. All right. A former teacher of Celeste says, I used to teach Celeste. This is when they found out who Celeste was. Okay. He says, I used to teach Celeste at Lakeland Village Middle School. She met the rapper through social media, and after that, she went missing. She eventually came back home, but went missing again in May of 2024. I hadn't heard anything until now. I've shared her story with my students as a warning about the danger of social media. Celeste was often absent from class, and I didn't know much about her personal life, but it breaks my heart to hear what happened. Okay. So her teacher said she actually used to date a guy named David. Okay. That is what this teacher told his class, that she used to date this rapper, and the rapper name was David. All right. So they're like, wait a minute. A body of Celeste, a girl named Celeste, was found in his vehicle, right? And the teacher is saying that Celeste used to date someone named David. They're like, wait a minute. So did he know her? So people starting all these talking and chattering like, wait a minute. Did David actually know her? Or is this a setup of some sort? Okay. So After that came about, other people from like Discord and TikTok and other streaming systems, people start coming out saying, wait a minute, they do know each other. He used to post with her, but covering her up. So we didn't know who she was, but we think they did know each other. Okay. So all types of photos start surfacing of the two of them together. Right. And in some of them, she was wearing hoodies, covering her face. He would put up the phone in his face, purses in her face. Why? He didn't want no one to know who she was or that they were seen together. Okay. TMZ even broke that they shared a tattoo on their index finger that's alike. And it says, shh. She had that tattoo that said, shh. And so did David. Okay. And TMZ said that they noticed the shh on his finger back in 2024, September of 2024. And the reason why they noticed that tattoo is because that's a tattoo that Rihanna, the singer, she has one of those. And TMZ noticed that he had one as well. Okay. So when the forensic people identified that she had a tattoo on her finger that said, shh, they're like, wait a minute. So she had one and he had one, and she was found in the trunk of his vehicle, right? And now there's pictures and things surfacing saying that they were together. What is going on? You see here, they were doing streamings together, but they were only doing it to their family and their friends. These photos that you see of them together came from close-knit family, close-knit friends, okay? He was actually posting up with this young lady. He was posting up with this young lady. Now, we're not going to go too far down that rabbit hole right now, but we will in a bit, all right? So because of this, when everything broke and they found her in the vehicle, he was on tour. So they're like, he can't have any involvement. Why? Because he wouldn't have been in the place in order to put her in the trunk and to drive her to the lot. So they're like, wait a minute. Is he being set up? Is he being set up? Right? But because of all the things that tie them together, the tattoos, the photos, right? And different text messages that has come out about them, even text messages where she's even admitting that there may have been sexual intercourse between her and a guy named David. That also was posted on TikTok, okay? That she says that she only bled when she had intercourse with her boyfriend that was named David, okay? So after that happened, the authorities are like, wait a minute, something ain't right. We need to do something. So what do? They went to his home and they raided his California home, all right? They went in there. Now, two different homes. He has a home that's actually his that he don't live in. They raided that house that somebody else is currently renting out. And then they raided the house that he's actually living in, which is not his. He's just renting. They raided that house as well. So they have raided both homes, right? And what they're looking for, well, at this point, they're looking for anything. They're looking for hairs, any type of forensics, blood, anything that they can find that put her in his home, okay? They are looking for that. Now, what do we know right now? We don't know a whole lot of what they found. They just start coming and taking out a whole bunch of stuff. So trust me, if there's anything to be found, they are going to find it. Because when I say they went in that house real deep, they went in that house real deep. Now, here's the thing. He had stopped tour after he found out what happened. Now, he didn't stop right away. I got to be honest with y'all. When it first found out that there was a vehicle in his car, in his trunk, he continued the tour, which I found that to be very weird, but he continued the tour, right? He continued going on, continued doing his thing. But then after about a couple of days and people start, talking, photos of them start appearing, the connections started coming out, then he took off. Okay. He took off, he canceled his tours, his endorsement, people that, not endorsement, but what do you call those people that give you brand deals and things of that nature? They start dropping him. Okay. They literally like one at a time, like, nope, we're getting rid of him. We're getting rid of him. We're getting rid of him. Right. So when that started happening, that's when he canceled all his tours, came back to California, and he was on tour overseas, mind you, came back to California, and that's when he started cooperating with the detectives. Okay. And they're saying that he is fully cooperating. Yes, his sponsors. Thank you so much, Rita. He started getting dropped by different sponsors. I think one of them was, what are those shoes I have? Crocs or something like that. He had a sponsor with Crocs and a few other big name brand sponsors. They just start dropping him, right? So when that started happening, he's like, okay, this is getting serious, right? So he canceled his remaining shows. He came back to the US, to California, and he started cooperating with the detectives, with the law enforcement, right? So he's cooperating, everything is going or whatever. We ain't talking about no rumors. I'm not going to talk about no rumors right now because there's too many out there. So he is cooperating with the detectives and giving them things that they need or whatever, right? Now, at this point, he has not been charged with anything. And a lot of people are like, wait a minute, why hasn't he been charged? It's clear that he knew the young lady, but just because you know someone does not mean that you're guilty of something, right? Okay. And just because she was dating a guy named David does not mean that he was her boyfriend. Now, we ain't crazy. We send up there like, okay, it's clearly they know each other, right? Right? It's clearly, it looks like they're trying to hide each other, but that still doesn't mean anything, right? Even me, I'm saying, come on now. What he doing with a 13-year-old? Now, mind you, he's 20 now and she's 15. That's 5-year difference. But when she was 13, he was 18. Okay. He was 18 years old. So still, she's a super minor at 13 years old. Right. So let's continue. Let's talk about some of no, we're not going to talk about rumors. I don't want to talk about rumors. And the reason why, because there's so many and I don't want to go down that because it's just absolutely ridiculous at this point of all the rumors that's coming out. All right. So let's talk about what could happen if, right? We're going to talk, well, now we're going to say if it's found, which to be honest with you, I don't know how they're going to find out. They're going to have to connect him some type of way with her in a sexual manner by forensics, blood, semen, or something from his home. Okay. All right. If sexual involvement with the minor is proven, what could he possibly be charged with? Well, one, unlawful sexual intercourse with the minor, lewd acts with the minor. Those charges, he will be facing felonies, okay? And multiple years in prison. Now, this is if any sexual involvement can be proven. Now, my eyes and probably your eyes is probably saying, he has some connection. And before today, I was actually screaming the same thing. He has some connection. There is some connection, right? But then I say, this dude is a TikToker. He does videos. He has people in his videos, multiple people in his videos, right? He has men, he has women, he has young, and he has older, right? So just because we see them together don't necessarily mean that there was intercourse going on. However, there's text messages going around where she's telling her friend, I only bled during sex with David, right? But there could be multiple Davids, right? We don't know that yet. So we're going to wait until the authorities actually tell us a true connection, because if y'all know TikTok, then y'all know people are going down the rabbit hole real, real deep and they are making up all kind of things. And even as of today, they are saying people have logged into her account, right? And making up fake text messages and all type of fakeness, right? Now, y'all know we got AI out here and things of that nature. So people are going wild with the accusations. They're going wild with the story. They're going left. And I'm like, yeah, no, I just want to report what the authorities are reporting, which is, to be honest with you, not a whole lot. Okay. They're saying that they are under thorough investigation. He is cooperating 100%. He has not been charged with anything as of yet. And he's not even been named a suspect. He has not been named a suspect, okay? Which is, anyway, but he has not been named a suspect. But what do we know? We know a body was found in the trunk of his vehicle. We know her name was Celeste. We know they shared the same tattoo on their index fingers. We know that they have been spotted together. We know that her parents has came out and said that she had a boyfriend named David. We know that her friend and her text each other and spoke of having sexual intercourse with a guy named David. We know her teacher said that Celeste used to talk about dating a rapper named David that she met on social media. We know that, right? We know that he wrote a song and it was like a what do they call that? Like a it was released, but I think it was leaked or something like that, and it was named Celeste. Okay? He wrote a song that was released. It was a leak named Celeste. Okay? So we do know that, right? We know all of that, and authorities still have not named him a suspect in this case. Okay? Now, we could talk all day about what we think is going on, but we can only go off what authorities is saying right now. So let's continue to talk about what ifs right now. If there was sexual sex involved, which they would have to prove that, then yes, he could possibly be facing multiple years in prison, maybe even life. Okay. If concealment of the remains is proven, he could be charged with improper or disposal of human remains and accessory after the fact. If a homicide is determined, he could be charged with either manslaughter or murder, which the penalties could be decades or even life in prison. Okay. But right now, the only thing that's verified is that a body of a 15-year-old female that they have identified as Celeste have been found in the trunk of his car. They don't even know the cause of death. None of that. They don't know that. They don't know the cause of death. And it may even take them a while. Why? Well, one, because the body was decomposed and it was dismembered. Okay? All the pieces of the bodies, right now, they're just saying chopped up, right? So we don't know if it was like, when they say chopped up, was it, like totally off of it or just chopped up? Right now, they're just saying chopped up. So at this point, we don't even know what chopped up really means. It could just be chopped up. You know what I'm saying? But so that is what he could possibly be facing if they are able to prove any of this, right? Statutory rape, because he was 18 at the time and she was 13 when she went missing, 15, and just days of 15 years old when she was found deceased. Okay. Tampering with evidence, they can charge him with that if they can link him to it. All right. But right now, what are they doing? Just searching, getting evidence. Now, they do have an uphill battle. Why? Because the body was there. They don't even know at this point how long it was there. She said, "Is it verified that his dad is a lawyer?" I don't know nothing about his father right now. We're only talking about him, her connection, what was found, how they are related. what the some of her friends are saying that she did date a guy named David. The parents saying they never met the guy that she so-called supposed to have dated named David, right? But I don't understand. I don't, to each his own. Everybody's family is different, but and I definitely don't want to victim shame anybody, right? Or even put the blame on his family. But at the same time, we're saying a 13-year-old runaway, right? And dating, having boyfriends and this, that, and the other. I know it's different in every family. They may allow their children to date at a very young age, but I'm just sitting up here trying to think her saying at 13 years old, she was dating a guy named David, like dating a guy named David. Anyway, I find that to be a little kind of weird, but different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? He has not made a statement at all. Okay. The only thing his representative has said is that he is fully cooperating with investigators. Okay. So what is confirmed? He's fully cooperating with investigators. The car in question is registered to him. The authorities have not yet charged him with any crime, and he has not released a public admission or confession or denial of anything. He has not said anything. Now, in a way, that's kind of good because anything he say will be used against him. So he hasn't said anything. The family said he has not reached out to them either. He has not said anything. And still, there is no evidence that he is even connected to this. There's no evidence outside of it was his car, right? Outside of he do know her, right? Outside of they share tattoos, but all of that could be coincidental. It literally could be coincidental. We don't know that. Now, we ain't dumb, but we can't come out here and just assume anything. And before today, I was like, come on now. This dude, no, he guilty. But then at the same time, like, wait a minute, you really can't say that because there's nothing connecting this man to her murder. Nothing as of yet. As of yet, there is nothing connecting these two. Well, we ain't gonna say nothing connecting them together because there's a lot connecting them together, but there's nothing connecting him right now. Even if they wanted to charge him with something, they will have an uphill battle in court, right? Because one, you need to know the cause of death. He has to have something in his home, in his person. Something has to be tied to him. Okay. So what do you guys think about this? Now we're not gonna do the conspiracy theories over here. So if y'all come with those, I'm gonna ignore them because I don't want to hear the conspiracy stuff that people have been putting out that has not been identified, i.e., oh, she was pregnant and this, that, and the other. I don't want to even go down that rabbit hole because that is just a rumor. And until that is identified, and how the hell do they know that? They barely could even figure out it was her. It took listen, you guys, they found her on the 8th and they didn't even identify her until I want to say she wasn't even identified until like the 17th or the 18th. It took them days to even identify who this young lady was. That's how decomposed her body was. So for someone to say that she was pregnant, how the hell did they figure that out, right? So I don't even want to come with the crazy bullshit that people are putting out. She said, I believe he did it. The song and the video itself sounds like a confession to me. Okay, so you think the song and the lyrics says that he did it? Okay. She says 13 years old, older men prey on younger girls. That's sad. Yeah, and we say older men, but he was really when she was 13, he was 18. Okay. What else are we saying? What else are y'all thinking? She said, I don't know much about the story, but has he told why she was in his car? No, he has not spoken a word. He has not officially said anything to the public, nothing, nor has his representative said anything on his behalf, except for he is fully aware of the situation and he is cooperating 100% with the authorities. That's the only thing that they're putting out. They're not putting out too much of the information, all the questions that we're asking. But his friends are. His friends or people that was on Discord with him, like, oh yeah, he dated her. They're the ones that's releasing these photos, not him. His Discord people that watched him stream, okay? They're the ones that's been releasing all these photos of those two together. They're the ones saying, wait a minute, he did know her. There's video footage of them together. She said, I'm sure legal counsel has advised him to remain silent, as he should. Let's be honest, as he should. She said, I don't know much about this. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know a lot about this story, but the fact that this guy car came up missing. Oh yeah, and another thing, it was out there that his car was never reported stolen, but it was reported stolen a week prior to them finding it in this neighborhood. It was abandoned in like a rich neighborhood, right? So it was abandoned, and then they came and picked it up and towed it and put it in a tow yard. And then they start smelling this awful smell in the tow yard. So the people that worked there actually start smelling this. She said, I believe he did it. It's just too much evidence against him. It is a lot of things that look suspicious. I would agree with that. She said, how old is the boy and the girl? Right now, he is 20 years old and she just turned 15. She just turned 15. She said, listen to the song Romantic Homicide and watch the video. Yes, I did listen to the song and I watched the video, and I listened to the lyrics of him saying that he unalived her in the backseat of his car. I seen all of that, and still he is not arrested. He is not arrested. So, I'm not going to say if he did it or didn't, but I will say it doesn't look good for him at all. Okay. It doesn't look good for him. Right. But we don't know that yet. She said, didn't a video come out of him cleaning her shoes? I wonder what the reason for the video was. It after she was missing? A lot of the photos that they were in was after she was reported missing. Yes. Hey, more in chat. I have replayed and watched a lot of your old videos. Thank you so much, Miss Go Get. I appreciate that. She said, oh my God, that's what his song said. That's crazy. Yes, he did. But you have to know him as a singer. He's not just a regular singer. He's more of a gore type singer. Like he sings, and let me just show you what I'm talking about. Like, okay, you remember that story that I did of that female that unalived the McDonald's manager? You remember when we went to her Instagram and we found how gore and how dark she was? Well, that wasn't too far off from David, but his fans knew that. And the thing about it is, when he made that song, he got a lot of views and streaming on that song. So let me explain to you what I'm talking about when I say that it's not that far from that. It's not like he wasn't already like looking real what's the word? Creepy. I guess that's a good word for it. Let's pull up one of the photos that I'm talking about that would make you and I know, say, well, why nobody didn't say anything about that? Like, this was way before of any of the anything that has happened now. Hold on, I'm trying to get the photo, the really creepy one I want to show y'all. And so it's not like they didn't know. Hold on. Okay, let me just show you this one. Ooh. Why it's not letting me do it? Okay, hold on. He was a little dark. Now I'm gonna tell you, he I was telling me I need to put this one down. Okay. So y'all see this? Oh, I can't even make it bigger, but oh, let me see if I can make that bigger. Give me a second. I want y'all to really see it. I want you to see his eyes and everything. Now, this does not make him uh here, let me let y'all see this photo a little closer. Let me remove that one. Oh, it told me I can't do it. Why not? Hmm. Hold on. Let me do it again. It won't let me. Always saying I got to take a photo down. Okay, let me take one down. I didn't know I only could do 10 at a time. That's something new. All right, I only could put 10 photos up here in my Rolodex. All right, so when you see this photo, you're like, well, he do look a little off. You know what I'm saying? She said they're reporting that the bloodstained shirt had been pulled from his website. Oh, they took it from his website. Well, if they took it from his website, I still can get to it some type of way. But anyway, that you look at his face, so you're looking, but this is not a new pic. This is not something that was just released. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, he look a little creepy, right? So, but what I'm trying to say is his songs and his look and kind of how he carried himself was kind of gora. It was like kind of gross a little bit. So it's not like they didn't love him for that, because they did. They thought it was like creative and unique and wild and amazing and yeah, all that stuff, until they find a woman 15 years old chopped up in his vehicle, right? That's when they start worrying about these pictures. But before, they loved it. He got deals from Crocs and other sponsors, big time sponsors, carried him with his look, with his songs, with his behavior, right? Now, let me tell you a little bit about David. They call him the pandemic baby, right? He even said in one of the interviews that he did, um, is that he was sheltered away from the outside world because he was homeschooled for 4 years. So for 4 years, he said he had nothing but his family, the inside of his room, and his computer. So he surfed the web a lot. He stayed on social media in different chat rooms and things of that nature, but he played video games and he made music and different sounds and those different things. So the internet basically raised him for 4 years of his last 4 years of schooling. Okay. And I only bring that up because, well, I just think that could probably be a little dangerous sometime. You know what I'm saying? When you don't allow someone to have a true outlet. She said his management involved while she was around him should be held accountable. Mm, I don't know about that. She said he's more like gothic. Yeah, like gothic, gore, dark, however you want to say it. She said, yes, it's a whole community like them. Yes, it is a whole community out there like him. And guess what? They love it. It's a lot of people that love this. You remember when we looked at the young lady that, like I said, that was charged with the unaliving of the McDonald's supervisor? She was just like this. She was just like this, right? And she made music too. Remember that? She said, how long was the body sit before they start smelling? It was like, I want to say like a week, 5 to 7 days that the car had been on the tow lot. 5 to 7 days is when they discovered it. Okay. My son was homeschooled as well, and he better not never. They do tend to be introverts and gravitate toward the internet. Yeah, because that's all they have. Their outlet is the internet, and they have their family, you know? Um, I don't know when you say his management team should be held accountable. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. They think it's just art until it's not. Thank you, mom of three. I can't say it any better. They think it's art until it's not. They do. They think it's creative. They think it's a masterpiece. They think it's mastermind. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that move like this, look like this, uh, present themselves like this is dark. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, yeah, maybe a conversation, maybe. I don't know. But it's a movement as well. There is gothic people wear the black. He wore the black fingernail polish. He wore the dark fingernail polish. He did that. She said, I had to look at the lyrics of the song because I didn't understand a word he was saying. Yeah. She said, never heard of him. Very disturbing. I never heard of him either. Didn't it sit on the street for a while as well? Yes. So it was in the parking lot of a very up to do neighborhood, well to do neighborhood. And they smelt something. They didn't know what it was. They actually thought it was like a dead animal. So they called and said, can y'all get this damn abandoned car out of our neighborhood? And y'all know when rich folks complain, they gonna do something about it. So they sent a tow truck out to get the vehicle out of that neighborhood. So it left that neighborhood and went to the tow yard. Okay. And the tow yard is set there for about a week as well. So at this point, we don't even know when she actually died. We don't know that of just yet. That's why this story is actually gonna be a uphill battle. And to the point where somebody may even get away with murder. Whether it's him or whether someone is setting him up at this point, we don't know. But it's going to take a lot for them to be able to pin down exactly what happened when without anyone talking. Okay. Right now, all we know is his vehicle. It was registered him, but a week prior, it was reported missing. Okay. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. I do believe that more things are going to come out, and I think it's going to take a while. Now, we already know the authorities are on it. We already know they're going to do this with a fine. They're going to go over this with a fine tooth comb, and they're going to put all the pieces together. You already know. She said, how long has he been on tour? Ooh, that I don't know, but I want to say it was the beginning of his tour, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll find out for you and let you know. But I do want to say that he was in the beginning of the tour. Okay. And when they found her in his trunk, he did not stop the tour. Okay. She said Billie Eilish have that look. Also, I took my daughter to one of their concerts. Yeah, like I said, I was speaking with Internet Sister, and she said her daughter actually followed this guy, followed him, listened to him, and that nature. So he had fans, and the fans are not like wacko fans. He had normal people. She said, "Hey, Amoira, I'm just here. Listen, I haven't went too deep into this here story because it's many rumors and discourse. I'm gonna wait till I see the outcome." Yeah, no, and that's what I don't want to do, Tamika. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole because I could come here and go down with every twist and turn of what people have put out there, but I refuse to do so because there's so much. And I'm like, nope, I only want to stick to what reputable stations are putting out, like the news or even people like TMZ, like reputable people, because baby, when I tell you TikTok has went wild, and I don't want to do that here. I don't want to do that because then I find myself having to come back and say, y'all, that didn't happen like how we did with the Rashida case. Remember when we was going down the Rashida case and all of a sudden we were like repeating what they said. Oh, he was shot 5 times in the back. Come to find out he wasn't even shot 5 times in the back. You know what I mean? And it was pure self-defense or whatever. They were like, oh, he was running away. He was down by the end of the gate. TikTokers have a way of wanting people to chime in on their content, and they will take your ass down a rabbit hole. Now, I'm not saying don't believe people on TikTok, but you have to really find out who to believe and who not to believe. But I am only going to go by what has been brought up by the officials or reputable stations that actually go and do the work. Like TMZ is one of them. So I will believe it if TMZ said it, because they're going to investigate it first and not just going to say something just so you can get their just so they can get your views, because they already have did the work and they are reputable. Okay. He said, I don't believe he did it. Seems like another attempt to frame an innocent black man. You know, it's so funny you say that, because until today, I was thinking, oh yeah, he's guilty. He's just as guilty as sin, right? But then today, y'all, I was like, you know what? It may sound crazy, but even when I look at the pictures, what is he doing that's wrong? He's not doing anything wrong. Is he with the young lady? Yes. But did he do videos with other young people, including guys? Yes, he did. So I'm like, does this show that he did anything wrong? Him being with her doesn't make him guilty. The tattoo, she could have got it just like he got it, just like Rihanna has it. A lot of people have that tattoo that says, shh. It literally could be coincidental, or he could be guilty of sin. So I don't want to put, and y'all know I'm quick to judge somebody that I think that is guilty, but I cannot say that this young man is guilty yet. And simply because right now, outside of her body being in his car and them being together, being shown together, I can't, I cannot say that he's guilty just yet. I can't say. But what I will say is, when the authorities continue to do what he did, because you remember we said that um Diddy was guilty, remember? And that, oh, he's going to be charged with racketeering, and he's going to be charged with this, and he's going to be charged with that. And come to find out, he wasn't charged with it. Why? Because just because we may think he guilty, right? We might think he guilty. It may look like everything is pointing at them being guilty, but it's really about what the prosecutor can do what? Prove. And right now, to be honest with you, him being in the picture with this young lady does not prove that he unalived her, that he put her in his vehicle, that he chopped her up, that he had sexual intercourse. Now, what gets me is when she says, I only bled while I'm with David. That is a text message between her and her friend that has been released by her friend, allegedly. Okay. Right. She wrote David as in DAVID, right? And not saying that, that's his stage name, but you would think that she would be calling him or identifying him by his stage name. But she said DAVID, which is his whole name. So we don't even know at this point if they're the same Davids. Now, if she would have said, I only bled with D4vd, then that would identify him a little bit more, right? We'd be like, oh no, she was definitely talking about him. But she said David. Her family said she had a boyfriend named David. Her teacher said that she dated a rapper named David. They didn't say the D4vd. So again, right now, we don't know. We can literally do the conspiracy theories like everybody else, or we can just wait until the authorities, after they do their thorough investigation, we can wait until they come out and say, here's the connection between these two. We found this in his home, this knife, this axe, this semen, this blood, or any of that. Okay. We have to wait. Once the autopsy is out and determine the timeline of death, that's when they're going to look at his whereabouts. That's absolutely true. But right now, the DA cannot charge him with anything because they don't have anything to go by. Why does she always cover her face with him? Well, a lot of people think it's because the same reason why he had tattooed on his finger, because he didn't want no one to know that he was with a 13-year-old. That's what a lot of people think. We don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure. Okay. She said, exactly. Him not being charged yet says a lot. They need concrete evidence. They need concrete evidence. You can think what you want to think any day, every day, all day, right? Now, I said either he's extremely clever, right? Unless he's extremely clever, he's going to have to explain these photos. He's going to have to explain his relationship. He's going to have to explain this tattoo, or maybe not, or maybe not. He could say, hey, but he definitely will have to explain the photos. He 100% will have to explain the photos. Okay. Now, if he just say, well, I'm not even going to make up shit because I don't know at this point. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to explain that. Right. But even after explaining it, if they still don't get anything from his home, if they don't find semen, blood, a weapon, a timeline that matches him, you know, at the time of her death, you know what I'm saying? If all of that stuff don't come up, they're not going to be able to charge him with anything. And even if they do say, I don't give a damn, I'm going to charge him anyway, because y'all know they will do that. Even if they say, I don't give a damn, I'm going to charge him anyway, then whoever takes this on, the prosecution is going to have an uphill battle. An uphill battle. I heard they found baby remains on his property. See, I don't want to get into the rumors because officials have not put that out at all. That is just a flat out rumor from a TikToker. That is a flat out rumor. I looked into it and that is a flat out rumor. So I'm not going by what's just rumored, okay? But if tomorrow, if they come out and say that, I will come back and say, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, we're going to keep you guys up to date on this story. I think it's crazy, though. I absolutely think it's crazy. I know I would be going crazy if I'm accused of something like this, if my vehicle was involved in something like this. You know what I'm saying? His name now is Mud. He's lost sponsors, which means that's money. People are now like turning against him. Some of his friends are turning against him. Bodyguards, I heard, was turning against him. People are trying to distance themselves, and he's not looking good. I will say that he's absolutely not looking good. But believe it or not, there are people that's still out there that's saying, no, not my boy. My boy didn't do that. He didn't do this. He was on tour. There's no way he could have done this. It's no way. You know what I'm saying? So trust and believe, he have a lot of people in his corner and he has a lot of people there pointing fingers at him. Okay. She said, this is crazy and I want justice for Celeste. Now, Celeste does deserve justice. Just because she was a runaway does not mean that her life can be taken without consequences. So she does deserve justice. I hope the family gets justice. I hate the fact that they just chopped it up as another runaway. But, I heard that they did it because she ran away before. You know what I'm saying? She was a troubled teen, you know. I hate this for her family. I hate this for her friends. I hate this for her. She was too young, absolutely too young. So a lot of things could happen at this point. A bombshell may drop tomorrow when we turn the news on. I'm definitely going to be following it. A bombshell could drop tomorrow and they can say, we have found this, that, and the third, and this guy is going down. And trust me, if that happens, I'm going to run back to social media and tell you guys, listen, this dude just been found. That they said this, or they found this in his home. They found this, they found this, they found this. So yes, she says, if he was having sex with her, he should be locked up for that. Yes, Lorraine. So those are the things that I will say right? If potential charges, let's go over them again. If these are potential charges, okay? Murder, if proven he intentionally caused Celeste's death, murder. Manslaughter, if death came from reckless actions, not pre-planned, manslaughter. Sexual crimes with a minor, if any sexual relationship with the 15-year-old is discovered, felony charge. Child endangerment / corruption of minor, if if he's found to have exposed this child to any type of harm, any type of danger, right? He will get child endangerment or corruption of a minor charge, abuse of corpse. If he moved the body, put it in the trunk, hid the body, did anything after the body after she was deceased, he could be accused of or charged with abuse of corpse, tampering or obstruction. If he tried to hide the evidence or mislead the investigation in any way, he can get obstruction or tampering charges. All of this is if. Okay. All right. But as of now, he's not facing any charges. Okay. Nothing at all. All right. So as we stand right now, we don't have all the answers. The things that we know, this case is very disturbing. We know a young girl lost her life, 15 years old. That's way too young to be losing your life, right? Her body was found in his trunk of his vehicle. All right. Photos have been leaked. Songs have been, a song that he created, they said called Celeste, has been leaked. Different videos has been leaked. Okay. But the song that was leaked, I'm not even going to say that's tied to her, even though it is named Celeste. We just going to say it raises questions. We're not going to say it's tied directly to her. Okay. All right. So that's what we know of right now. We don't know if this is just coincidence or does it goes beyond coincidence. Okay. But let me hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Coincidence or deeper than a coincidence? Or what is the cause of death? We don't know the cause of death yet. The cause of death has not even been identified. Also, a lot of you guys are saying y'all think it's deeper than a coincidence. Okay. One of those kids will tell it eventually. When you say one of those kids, what do you mean? One of his Discord buddies? Friends? Okay, so many of you guys are saying that you think it's something deeper. And I think only one or two said that they don't think he did it. It really depends on when he went on tour. Let's find out when he went on tour. He started his tour early August. Okay, one article mentioned that the tour started August the 5th. So Celeste was last seen in April of 2024. The Tesla was found, well, the body was found in the Tesla September the 8th. So August the 5th is when he went on tour. The Tesla was found on September the 8th. The neighbor said the car had been abandoned for more than a month before they impounded. Oh, wow. So the car was abandoned for more than a month. Okay. So just think about it for a second. If a car is abandoned with a body in it for a month, right? And then they took it to the impound. And how long? Let me see. I want to say 7 days, but let's just find out how long was it at the impound. So the neighbors say that it was abandoned in the neighborhood for more than a month, which I think that's a long ass time actually. And then he went on tour August the 5th. Okay. It was okay. So the impound, different news outlets is saying one said 2 days, one said 5 days. Okay, so okay, it says ABC News said the body was discovered 2 days after the Tesla was towed to the impound lot. But People Magazine or people.com says they believe the body was placed in the trunk about 5 days before it was towed. So then that's even more confusing, right? If people.com, which they are known to be a reputable source, if they're saying they believe the body was placed in the vehicle 5 days before it was towed, but neighbors are saying that the vehicle was actually left abandoned for a month, right? Before they called the authorities. So you mean to tell me? So listen to this. Neighbors in the Hollywood Hills reported that Tesla had been sitting parked and abandoned for about a month before it was finally towed away. The car was towed to a LAPD impound lot early September 2025. The body was discovered on September the 8th after a foul odor was reported. The body of Celeste was found inside the front. Multiple outlets confirmed that it was not flagged as a stolen vehicle. So even though he may have reported it missing to some friends, it was not reported as a stolen vehicle to the authorities. All right. So technically, it wasn't reporting missing. Instead, it was reported abandoned by neighbors and then told to the impound, which eventually led to the discovery. So, to be honest with you, he went on tour August the 5th. Hmm. Could he have abandoned the vehicle? He could have. He could have. But when they say that the body was only put in there days before, then that's when things get a little murky. Because then he wouldn't be put in the same place with the vehicle or the body if they're saying it was only placed in there 5 days prior. Too many missing parts to this crazy story. Yeah. So, and that's why they're doing what? A thorough investigation before they come out with anything. That is why the authorities cannot come out and say much of anything. That's why we're not really hearing a whole lot from the authorities, because if they come out with the, well, we think, or well, this happened and that happened, they're going to be just like those TikTokers that's trying to make up some shit that's not true. All right. And that is why they have not released a whole lot, because, baby, it's going to take a lot for them to figure this shit out. What I will say, if they cannot find anything in his home, right? If they cannot find nothing that ties this man to the death, right? Like clothes, fibers, blood, semen, that type of stuff, right? Then they're gonna have to figure out with cameras and cameras around the, they're gonna have to do a whole lot. And now what I will say is they do have cameras all around the place, right? So they can track the direction where this vehicle came from. They can look at all the camera systems from this neighborhood to when it was towed, how, the cameras in the tow lot, because they got to have all of that. They got to have all of those recordings. They're going to have to go through everything, right? And it's going to be an extensive search. And then they're going to have to piece her body back together some type of way to find out, was she shot? Was she stabbed? Was she choked? They're going to have to figure all of this stuff out. So that's why we don't know much, unfortunately. But this is a developing story. More things will come out about this story. She says they need to get a better timeline together. Listen. But what I was going to say when I said don't mark me on this one, if they're not able to come up with those things that I just said, then a potential, just a potential, because we're not going to label him as this, but a potential rapist, right? And murderer will get away, because right now they have nothing that we know of that they haven't came out to the public with. Yep, we see the pictures. Does that make him guilty? Nope. He was sitting beside a young lady. He took a picture with a young lady. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it like that. The teacher says, oh, she had a boyfriend named David. Okay. Oh, they shared the same tattoo. Okay. Oh, they took pictures and she hid her face. Okay. Oh, she was on his Discord. Okay. Oh, she had text messages to a friend saying that she bled while having sex with her boyfriend named David. Okay. Oh, her brother came out and spoke and said, yeah, she had a boyfriend named David. Okay. She was found in his vehicle in a tow yard. Okay. But if the authorities cannot find anything that links him to this murder, only thing we're going to have is what? Okay. 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 And okay. So I will keep you guys up to date as new developments come out. I want to go ahead and get this story out because, yeah, it's a hot topic right now. A lot of people are blogging on it. It is baffling that really a man would want to be involved with a 13-year-old. And, you know, they're even saying some of his friends, right, that was in his live streams and hung out with him, that he even knew her before she was 13, that he met her when she was like 10 or 11 or 12 or some shit, right? So they're saying that they actually knew each other for a while, even before she went missing at 13. Okay? She went missing at 13. But some of her friends and his friends is saying that she been involved with a David way before then, communicating with him in a what they call that thing, a chat room. So listen, you guys, check up on your loved ones, check up on your younger ones. Don't take for granted, oh, my child won't do this, my child won't do that. Find out who your child is communicating with online. Check their phones, check those things. You understand what I'm saying? Because you just never know who they're communicating with. And then some of his friends said, oh, yeah, he was dating a girl named Celeste, but the Celeste that he was dating said that she was 18 years old, right? So there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving pieces to the story. We have to wait till authorities come out with more information before we can put all this together. You know, she looks very young, but, you never know these days. So again, I will give you guys the updates as they come in. Let me read a few of you guys' chats. And if y'all don't have anything, and if you feel led to bless this live stream, please do so. I know I haven't been out here speaking much lately, but if you want to bless your girl, if not, we always got tomorrow. Okay. She said, that's why I say one of those kids will say something. Okay, you're talking about people in the chat room with them. She said, in my opinion, 13 is too young, but to each his own. Yes, 13 is too young, right? And you do have to monitor your youth, right? You have to monitor, shoot. If you're going to allow your children to be online, have their own iPads, their own phone, their own computers and stuff, I think that you should be monitoring their activities, right? And you should be talking to them about chatting in chat rooms. I just think that you should. And, it's been said again that they actually knew each other before he found fame, that they were literally just friends before he was discovered. He just got discovered in 2022. He became famous in 2022, right? So it's been said that they knew each other even before that. All right. So you just have to know who your teen, your child is communicating with, you know? Oh, thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm back too, girl, because whoo, child. She said they said that she ran away before. Wonder, sis, she run away with him before. So they did say that she ran away, and yes, it's been said that she ran to him and then left him and went back home and left again. That's just from what her friends are saying. So yes, but the police and the detectives mentally labeled her as a runaway. That's why a lot of people didn't know that she was missing. And then the family, I mean, I don't want to throw the family under the bus like that, but they didn't make enough noise about her disappearance. If she was supposed to be missing since April of 2024, you would think that there would be more noise made. If your loved one was missing, if your daughter was missing for a whole damn year, a year and a half, wouldn't you be making a whole lot of noise? I know I would. I know I would, right? So I find that to be very concerning. She said, I never heard of this until now. Yes. Well, and the only reason why we heard of it now is because her body was found and the thing about it is, if her body had been found in someone that wasn't famous and well known, that had a lot of followers and, you know what I mean, that's into the media and stuff like that, we probably would not have even heard of her even then. But because he is a famous person, he has a lot of followers. That's one of the reasons why we're hearing about this. You know? Yes, I seen that weird ass funeral that he was having at his concert. Again, he was a very dark guy. He had a casket at, they said in several of his videos, in his videos, he had caskets set up like for, and you know, I heard one of his lyrics, or him talking about one of the lyrics to his song, and let me let y'all listen to it. So y'all can tell me what y'all think. I actually just saw this today, and I was like, "Ooh, he kind of a little weird." I'm gonna let y'all tell me what y'all think about this. He was explaining how he wrote one of his songs. This one here goes right here. He's explaining how he made the song Here or Here with Me. Okay. It's a song called Here with Me. All right. This is exactly his reel to it. Okay. Listen to what he says. So he was definitely a different breed type person. Listen to what he says.
This is how I made the song Here with Me. Okay. I'm eating my Chipotle one day, right? And I'm watching this movie Up. It's by Disney. It's about these old people. It's really cool. You should go watch it. But the wife, she's about to die. I'm like, dude, I can make a song about these old people. So I grab my phone, right? And I also grab my lyrics. And then I ran in my closet, right? And I open up BandLab and I start cooking away. I don't care how long it takes. And then boom. After that, I'm like cooking for like hours. I'm cooking, I'm cooking. I open up the hyperbolic time chamber. I look around, like nobody knows I just made the most best song ever. So I just sort of celebrating and everything, you know what I'm saying? And then I go straight to post it on TikTok.
Now, again, if you heard what he said he was watching something, right? A show. And then he said this, I was watching this show about this old couple and the wife, she was about to die. And I was like, oh, I can make a song about these old people. And then I just grabbed my iPod and my phone and I ran into the closet and I was like, oh yeah. And I cooked up some lyrics about I don't care how long it takes. The dude literally wrote a song about a wife, an old couple's wife about to die, and he says he doesn't care how long it takes. So again, he was dark, right? He literally was dark. Look, he's like, I looked up from watching it, just a show. I saw her laying in the bed about to pass away, and I jumped up and I cooked together a song. But the wife, she's about to die. And he got excited over that. Again, he was dark. He was dark. So, but we call it dark, whereas other people call it art. Do you understand what I'm saying? We call it dark. We say, oh my God, he looks scary. Some people call this art. Oh, he's so artistic. Oh my God, he's so genius. Oh my God, he's so unique. Oh my God, he's so different. Oh my God, he's so cool. Oh my God, he's so me. Listen, the man had millions of followers. So we want to say gross, we want to say eerie, we want to say sick, we want to say dark, we want to say demonic. But there was a lot of people following him that likes this type of stuff. She said that song is being played all over TikTok. It became a hit. The song became a hit. And he literally described how he came about making that song. He was watching a show where an older couple wife was about to pass away. And he jumped up, went in his closet, and wrote a song about it. That's what we're dealing with here. You know? So again, is it art? Is he artistic? Is he a genius? Right? Is he just different? Or is he really, really, really capable of doing what a lot of people think that he has done? And that is raped a young girl and ended her life. We don't know that. We do not know that. And we are not going to claim that on this channel until we get further information after the investigations are done. Okay? So you guys, thank y'all for pulling up to this story. We will be keeping you in contact. I'm saying we like I'm a whole team. I do have a team though. So we will be keeping you up to par on any developments of this story. My heart goes out to this young lady. She was way too young to lose her life. My heart goes out to her family. Prayers up to this young lady's family, her loved ones, her friends. Yeah, a life taken way too young, too young. All right. So, listen, justice for Celeste, justice for Celeste. All right. So let me just thank you guys so very much for coming. First of all, do appreciate that. And thank you for renewing your memberships, Kimmy and Karen and Watch This and Quiet Storms and Shanita. Thank you so very much for renewing your memberships. And then we have Binky Bink. Thank you for the love. We have Tanya. Thank you for the love. We have Candy. She said, hello, ladies. Let's support the goal of breaking these stories down. Watch, listen, and learn. Let's support by sending a super chat or a cash app to talk about it 2024. Thank you so very much. Let me read yours too, Tanya. You said, hey, my loud talkers, let's bless the host with love for the good content per usual. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Glenn. She said, hey, Amoira mods and chat sisters. I'm listening, but I'm busy. Thank you, Big Sis, for coming. Thank you so much for renewing your membership, Yolanda. Thank you, Rita, for the love. Great live. I love how you do your own research and not rely on others' commentary. Yeah, no. Thank you, Rita. You don't have to worry about that for me, okay? I am going to look it up for myself because I want to know, because there's so many bloggers and whatnot out here just putting out all type of stuff. So I have to find the receipts to what they're talking about. And if I can't find them through reputable sources, then I'm not going to come out here and just talk that shit. You know what I mean? So anyway, but thank you, baby, for even acknowledging it and knowing it, honey. You already know. And thank you, Barbara, for showing your girl some love. Appreciate you. And listen, you guys, she said, I'm definitely slide stuff in your inbox. If I find some stuff, it's been going down this rabbit hole. Well, don't send me nothing that's not verified. I don't want to see no conspiracy theories. I don't want, if you find somebody on TikTok saying this, that, and the third, if it is not verified, please do not send it to me, because baby, I don't want to have to be trying to figure out if it's garbage or not. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She says, great live. I'm ready for the updates. Oh, yes, I will definitely be bringing it to you. So if you want to know more about this story, stay tuned to this channel. And that is Talk About It with Amoira with your host, Amoira. And that is me. I will be giving you guys the updates as I get them. She said, what about TMZ? Oh, no. TMZ is definitely a verified source. So yes, if you find something from TMZ, yes, you can shoot it to me if I don't already have it. But yeah, you can. You could definitely do that. TMZ is definitely a reputable source. They're not just going to put out no bullshit. You know what I mean? They've been out for a while. She said, knee deep. I was too. Oh, knee deep said, I'm late. Oh, sorry, knee deep. Yeah, I went ahead and decided to go ahead and do the story because I feel better. And there's so many other stories like y'all. I got to tell y'all about what's going on here in Houston. Oh, my goodness. I'll tell y'all about that. Yeah, on a different live. I'll tell y'all about what's going on in Houston, because we got some things going on in Houston on our own of what's, things or whatnot. So I want to cover more stories. So I was like, let me go ahead and get this one out of the way, because I would keep on pushing it back. And then, yeah, you already know. She says, damn it, I can't send a cash app. Forgot I just reported my Apple Pay loss, but thank you, Amoira, for not listening to the rumors and waiting for facts. Oh, no, you already know, J. Lou. Yes, thank you for even acknowledging that, because I do not want to be one of them channels that have to keep coming back out here saying, y'all, I know I reported this, but that shit ain't even true. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to stay away from the rumor mills And I definitely want to stay away from conspiracy theories because, oh my God, I can't stand that shit. I'm definitely not a conspiracy theories channel. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely going to stick to what is verified. You know what I mean? So, what has definitely hit the internet by family, friends, authorities, or reputable news outlets. Okay. She said, great live and information. Love this. Thank you, D. She said, what the F is going on in Houston, girl? I got to tell y'all on another live, baby. She said, I heard about that. I heard about these young ladies in Houston. Girl, you heard about it. We're going to talk about it, though. She said, yeah, there's so much going around. There is so much going around, which is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Whew. So anyway, thank you, Rashida. It is so much going around, and we're gonna be hitting on all of it. And that does not mean that we're not gonna still touch on stories that we are definitely very familiar with. And y'all know I love to break down what a narc behaviored person, honey. People out here acting like narcissists, manipulating and gaslighting people. We will continue to break that down because it's some more stuff that came out. I want to say it came out today or maybe yesterday, but I think it was today. That child, we got to break that down too, but on a different live. So trust, don't think that I'm not seeing it. Even if it's a day late, your girl is definitely going to break it down because baby, I'm seeing it. Okay. She said, yeah, there's so many. Yeah. Okay. I read that one. She said, yeah, I heard about the ladies in Houston. Y'all be careful, Houston folks. Yeah, I live in Katy, so I'm about 45 minutes from Houston. But yeah, she said one of the young ladies was the one I posted in the sisterhood. I know some members of her family. Wow, seriously? Okay. She said, I feel so bad for her family to have to hear them theories. Yeah, that is true because it definitely makes, it makes it harder to process what really happened when you're hearing this happened and that happened. Oh, and she could have been this and she could have been that. And oh my God. And yeah, going around and marrying around. So I definitely don't want to do that. She said, not enough evidence. Yes, not enough evidence that we know of right now. Is absolutely not enough evidence that we know of right now. So I'm not covering that story. I didn't talk on that story. I'm not covering that one. And I didn't do that for a particular reason. So I'm sorry, y'all, about that one. I did not cover that story. So I'm sorry, but I didn't want to be. I'm trying to distance myself from the people that we have been attached to for almost 3 years. I'm really trying to distance myself all the way. It's going to be a hard shake, but trust me, it's going to come. And that's one of the reasons why I did not speak on that story because I don't want to be attached or affiliated no way, no how with them people. All right. If you know, you know. We ain't got to talk about it on here, but I just don't want to be affiliated with those people. So that's why I did not touch on that story. So I hope I didn't fail you guys on that one. I was going to talk about it, but I was like, hell no. I want to just y'all already know. You if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. All right. I did hear about that. And to be honest with you, I looked at that a little bit and I decided not to go down that rabbit hole as well. Because again, which I do find it baffling, but I will say right now, even that has a whole bunch of conspiracy theories because they were like, oh, he was found hanging with a whole bunch of broken bones. But then it came out that this man didn't have not one broken bone in his body. So people just put out lies. You know what I mean? But for right now, the authorities is saying there was no foul play. And I know a lot of people is like, come on, Amoira. Ain't no black guy gonna climb up a tree, put a noose around his neck and a rope around his neck and then just hang himself. But there was no foul play found. There was no foul play found. And so do I believe it? I don't want to, but I can only go by what has been reported and found through the cameras, through talking, through the discoveries. So, but the putting out, oh, he was found with a broken leg and multiple broken bones in his body. He was beat up and bruised just for them to come back and say none of that is true. That's why I was like, oh my God, here we go again. People just be reporting false information. So again, that young man that was found hanging from that tree, there was no foul play found so far, which is tragic still, but we don't know what happens at these schools on these campus and what's going through I just encourage everybody talk to your family and your youth, and these kids are stressed out and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And I don't want to sit here and just be like, oh no, it just can't be, it can't be, it can't be. Well, the cameras, the friends, the families, and the notes and all this stuff or whatever, you can't just come out and she said they failed to mention that a white man was found there as well. See, I don't, I hate going down the rabbit hole of something that a whole bunch of lies has already been put out. And then you have to come back and clean that shit up. But I can. She said there's so much going on outside, y'all. Every time I open my social media, I see a murder. The president, then that presidential BS. I'm praying for you all, sisters. She said, not at all, Amoira. I couldn't wait for you to cover this story. Your delivery per usual. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. She said, we are here for any story that you report on. You're amazing at what you do. Thank you so much, Dee. Appreciate you, girl. She said, people put out anything, not even considering that's someone's child. I know, but to get a view, to get a like, to get a comment, to get whatever stirred up, to get people talking and rumors flying, they just put up report on anything. It absolutely is. And that's why I say that, no matter if you think like right now, I'm like, oh no, my daughter's doing good. She's loving it. She's enjoying it. But baby, let me tell you, you can never just take that as face value. You have to talk to your kids. You have to say, is there anything that I need to know? You know what I mean? Is there something that you want to tell me? Are you doing okay? You even have to just straight up come out and ask them, how are you doing mentally? How are you handling, depression, anxiety? How are you handling these things? Are you worried about anything? Are you worrying about any exam? Are you having problems with any friends? Are you having problems with any relationships? You literally have to dig deeper in having a conversation with your loved ones, with your youth, with the children, because believe it or not, we can sit here any day and all day and act like our children are fine. They're thriving, they're doing well. But if you're not asking the questions, how do you know? How do you know? And I think our kids will appreciate it. They may not act like it on the surface, but I think that they will appreciate us asking, how is your mental? How's your relationships? How are your friendships? How is your studies? Is it hard? How are your exams? Do you have enough time to study? Are you worrying about work? Are you getting enough rest? Are you eating well? Do you need financial assistance? We have to check up on our youth, whether they live with us, whether they are away, whether they are in college, you know what I'm saying? Whether they are in relationships and living with their partner. We still have to check up on our youth. She said, I just had to tell mom not to listen to these different blogs. My mom was saying Rihanna had her baby. I told her if it's not TMZ or Amoira's fault. Well, thank you so much, D. Listen, when I tell you, I don't even like TikTok. I'm not even playing because I went over to TikTok and I was like, the way the rumor mill spins on TikTok is disgusting. You understand? Now, I know it's not just TikTok. I'm sure they do it on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm sure they do it on all of them. But TikTok, to me, is the worst. People will take something and then they will run 10 miles around and around with it, right? And then come right back and put a whole story together. And you're like, wait a minute. Where did you get that from? And it be so not true. But I think they just do it so they can be labeled the source. Okay. They do it to be labeled the source. But yes, I say if you hear it, try to go verify it. When you go and look up the news outlets to see if it's real or not. And if they say we ain't heard of that, then as a blogger, I think it is important to say that, this is just something you heard, is not true, is not verified. But I don't even like repeating it because then y'all gonna be like, oh, more you said. Oh no, more the hell more didn't. I done been down there, had to come back and remember because I felt like a fool telling y'all that Rashida's son Kurt shot the guy 5 times in the back. I had to come back and say, y'all, I'm sorry. He really didn't shoot him 5 times, but that's what was put out by who? Social media. Social media put that out, and it was not true. I'm not saying don't watch TikTok, but you got to be careful with the TikTokers that you do watch. And what I would do is I would listen to one of their stories, go see if it's verifiable, and if it's not, then don't listen to them no more. You know what I mean? Or if it's verified, I'm like, okay, all right, at least this person is reporting verified information. Okay. She said, I get on TikTok for other things, recipes, learning things, home decor, and wigs. That's it. That's all. Yeah, they will have you going, baby. TikTok will have you going. So anyway, but again, thank y'all for pulling up. I do appreciate you. But again, prayers going up to Celeste and her family and loved ones. And that is all we have on this live stream. Meet me tomorrow back. I'm not exactly sure which story I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna do the one on Miss Sage season still coming out. Basically, I know y'all probably seen that one today. Her saying, what did she say, y'all? She said that when God removes something out of your life, a person out of your life, he removed the blessings that you once had as well. So I don't know if I'm going to talk about that tomorrow or am I going to talk about another story? But we definitely going to talk about that one, okay? Because she sure said that one, baby. You hear me? She sure said when God remove you out of a person's life, basically he takes the blessings that you brought in the relationship with you, okay? Meaning that if you see her ex struggling, i.e. low views, i.e. low comments, i.e. low interactions, engagements, it's because he took her out of and her blessings with it. Anyway, so that's what I'm hearing. So we might just do that live tomorrow. She's I'm more do another live tonight and talk about it. No. No, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna do that when we have already been on for an hour and 50 minutes. Y'all so funny. Y'all so funny. What time is it? Oh, it's 10 o'clock. It's a little late. I don't know. I'm not sleepy. I don't know. What about y'all? Y'all so messy. Y'all so messy. She said, that's what happened with Bree Left. Look at y'all. We about to get off this live because, baby, this is not the live for it. But y'all just so messy. She said he was struggling like, y'all so messy. I tell you, y'all so messy. I don't know. Listen, depending on how I feel in the next 10 minutes, I might just do the live. I don't know. Y'all so messy. Look at y'all messy, baby. I tell y'all so messy. She said, wait a minute. Angela, I'm out. I'm gone, y'all. I am gone. I'm gone. She said, we not sleepy either. We got plenty of rest today for the last 2 days. Oh, y'all got plenty of rest. I'm not gonna lie. I did get enough rest for the last few days. I ain't even gonna lie. I did, baby. And I'm wired too. I woke up today around, it was like 2 something. Or was it 1 something? I think Candy, I can't remember. I think it was 1 something, 1 or 2 something when I woke up. So I definitely got a lot of rest. And then you know what? I woke up around 1 something because I drank coffee around 2 something. Yes, I did. I drank coffee around 2 something. So I'm a little wired, and then I cooked dinner for the hubby, made some chicken Alfredo and some knots, bread knots, garlic knots, and it was pretty good. Chicken Alfredo from scratch or whatever. And then I'm gonna be uploading that video just to put on my Facebook or whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna end this live. But for those that did do the $35 raffle, that will be given out tomorrow. Okay. So definitely make sure you come tomorrow. Even if you're not there, if you won, you won. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily make you have to be there. So if you won, you won. And that will be called tomorrow. Okay. And thank y'all for y'all patience on that one. It's just that I had to do some tedious work and go in there and put pull out all the goddamn on names because I probably shouldn't have let people do the splits, the 2 and 3 and 4 splits. That was the worst decision ever. So I'll do that tomorrow. Okay. I'll do that tomorrow. So for anybody that was wondering about that, that will be called tomorrow. Okay. On Monday. All right. And she's I've been listening to Cardi B new album, but I'm up into 12. Girl, Cardi B album is definitely the bomb, baby. I'm loving it too. Okay. All right, but I might come back. I don't know if I do come back. Look at J. Lu. J. Lu, you just so messy. She said, "Did you hear the part where she was cooking? She definitely threw shade." Y'all just messy, baby. But anyway, let me go. Let me end this one because I definitely don't want to tie any messiness into this story because this is a serious story. It is a developing story, and we will continue to watch this story. And listen, I may not come out with every new detail, right? But if something major hits, right? Especially if he's charged with anything, right? After they do the investigation, if they come back and say, we found this, like they did with P. Diddy, right? If they come back and say, we found this, we found this, we found this, we found this, y'all already know your girl is going live that same day, okay? That same day, all right? So anyway, love y'all. I might come back. It'd be a surprise. Listen, y'all gonna have to show me just how much y'all love me by looking for me on YouTube. All right. So y'all gonna have to figure it out in the next 10 minutes or so. If I come back live, y'all already know I'll be live in about 10 minutes or so. If I come back, I gotta see what the hubby doing. And who knows? I might need to put him to sleep. But anyway, let me just see what he doing right quick. And I'll let y'all know. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all hit that thumbs up button so this can actually get a little bit more views or whatever. And I'm going to talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye now.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Yay! She kept talking about
We
that
got these
family.
hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. She kept talking
Internet
about that
gangsters.
family. She kept talking about that family. She kept talking about that family. That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be wanting to listen about. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Talking about it. That family. That family. That family.
Yay!
That family. That family. Talking about it.
Talking about it.
Child, we finna talk about this with Amoira.